Allergies are a common cause of discomfort and illness, which can affect the eyes, nose, lungs, or skin. Many people are allergic to substances in the indoor environment. It is often possible to decrease or eliminate these symptoms by decreasing the amount of exposure to these causes of indoor allergy. These allergy-causing substances are called allergens, and one of the most important indoor allergens is found in dust. It is the house dust mite. This video will teach you about the house dust mite and will show you how you can make easy changes in your home which can have a big impact on the level of dust mite exposure and resulting allergy symptoms. House dust mites are microscopic creatures that live in even the cleanest homes. House dust mites are relatives of spiders. Here is a dust mite magnified on a penny to give you an idea of their actual size. It is the waste particles produced by live mites and the body fragments of dead mites that contain the actual allergy-causing material responsible for house dust allergy. In other words, allergy to house dust itself is really an allergy to house dust mites. The more you understand about the living habits of these creatures, the better able you will be to create an indoor environment where there are fewer mites and less allergies. How important is dust mite allergy? Much of the medical research on the importance of dust mite allergy has been done by Dr. Thomas Platts Mills and his associates. Dr. Platts Mills is the head of the Division of Allergy at the University of Virginia's School of Medicine.
Many children and young adults become allergic to house dust, and house dust is made of many different particles that accumulate inside houses, and various different sources of allergens are contributing to house dust. However, over the last 20 years, it's become clear that the house dust mite is a source of the most important allergens in house dust. Indeed, in many very humid areas, the house dust mite is the single most important source of house dust allergens. In those areas where house dust mites are important, which include much of the United States, among young children and adults with asthma, we find up to 80% of the allergic patients have positive skin tests to dust mites. Now, when you ask those patients, are they aware of being allergic to house dust, they're not always aware. They may know that they sneeze in the morning or that they sneeze when they're exposed to house dust, but they don't understand the relationship of house dust to their asthma. And we have, over the years, by studying the way in which dust accumulates in houses and how it becomes airborne, we now think that the role of house dust mites in asthma is one of the major causes of inflammation in the lungs. That is, that patients are inhaling small particles which land in the lungs of an allergic person, cause inflammation in the lungs, and in turn that gives rise to asthma. The ability to measure what's in house dust is very recent. Only in the last 10 years has it been possible to do a simple assay to measure the level of allergens in house dust, and we can now measure the level of cockroach allergen, of cat allergen, of dog allergen, but most important of dust mite allergen, because dust mites are not visible to the human eye, and therefore it's very difficult to tell whether dust mites are present in your house unless you measure it. The advantage of these measurements is that we've been able to test many of the procedures recommended for reducing exposure inside houses by measuring the change in levels, so that most of the procedures that are now recommended for reducing mite allergen levels have been tested directly by measuring the change in allergen levels.
Now that we know that dust mites are important in causing allergy symptoms, where do we start? The key to proper environmental control is an understanding of the conditions needed by dust mites for their survival. Darkness and humidity. Dust mites cannot live long and cannot multiply on hard or wipeable surfaces. A dust mite which finds itself on such a hard surface, a wood table, a tile or hardwood floor, a plastic or vinyl chair, is likely to dry out and die from dehydration. In contrast, dust mites live abundantly in soft materials such as pillows, mattresses, blankets, carpets, and upholstered furniture, where they can burrow down into the depths of the fabric, away from the light, and to where the humidity is high. These soft materials are the places where dust mites are growing in your home. They are the places where the allergy-causing substances are being produced by the mites, and they are the places that we must deal with if we are to decrease exposure to dust mite allergen. Hard, wipeable surfaces may collect dust, but they do not produce it. Allergy-causing dust is being produced by dust mites living in your pillows, mattresses, blankets, carpets, and upholstered furniture. An interesting experiment was done by Dr. Platts-Mills and colleagues, who took patients with chronic asthma due to house dust mite allergy and had them use a hospital room as their bedroom for a period of time.
9 patients who had chronic asthma, who required continuous treatment but were still not feeling well, and who were allergic to dust mites, were persuaded to live in a hospital room for 6 weeks to 3 months. And these were patients who had to have treatment all the time. When they were in the hospital room, they had dramatically reduced exposure to dust mites. And what we found was that all of the patients improved, but 7 of them were able to reduce their medicines to only occasional medicine. And they not only were using less medicine, they were breathing better, and they were able to do more exercise. And among the 7, 5 of them got dramatically reduced sensitivity to irritants, so that their lungs, even when we tried to provoke them, were 8-fold less irritable. So the conclusion was that if you take even chronic asthmatics and put them into conditions where they have 90% less exposure to dust mites, their lungs will improve and become less irritable.
Why do allergy sufferers become better in the hospital? Because hospital rooms may have dust, but they don't have dust mites. Why can't dust mites live in hospital rooms? Because hospital rooms are made to be wipeable and washable. The pillows and mattresses are coated or covered in plastic. The floor is uncarpeted tile or linoleum. The guest chair is made of plastic or vinyl rather than soft upholstery. If there are window coverings, they are shades or blinds rather than curtains or drapery. A hospital room is wipeable. The only materials not wipeable are the sheets and blankets, and they are washed in hot water, which, as you will learn, kills dust mites. So the end result is that even though these measures were performed by the hospital with infection control rather than allergy in mind, these same measures prevent dust mite growth. At this point, your reaction may be, "I can't live in a glass bubble." Fortunately, there is no need for you to do so. It is not necessary to make one's house dust mite exposure 0, but it is necessary to get it below a certain level. We know what steps can get it below that level and what steps do not. The important dust mite avoidance measures can be taken with relatively little disruption of one's lifestyle. The cost is modest, especially considering the possible benefits of decreased medication and increased well-being. So let's get started.
The most important room to focus on is the bedroom. One reason for this is because a large part of your life is spent in this room. Perhaps 1/3 of the day is spent sleeping in the bedroom. Children may spend more time sleeping and playing in their bedroom. Another reason is that dust mites are very plentiful in bedrooms, and particularly in beds, since beds provide the ideal conditions of warmth, humidity, and darkness for their growth. Beds also provide the mites with a plentiful source of their food, which is the dead skin scales which flake off our skin every day. And finally, the bedroom is the easiest room to change without disrupting the rest of the family. Dust mite control should therefore start in the bedroom. The room should be as wipeable as possible. Those things which cannot be wiped clean, the pillow, the mattress, and the carpet, need special treatment. Unlike the plastic-covered mattresses and pillows found in hospitals, pillows and mattresses in homes are made of soft fabric in which dust mites thrive. By far, the greatest exposure most allergic people have to dust mites occurs during the night when they inhale dust mite allergen produced by dust mites living in their pillow, mattress, and blankets. This area must be tackled first. Any mite avoidance plan which fails to deal with the bed is doomed to failure. Since dust mites cannot be eliminated from mattresses, a barrier must be placed between the mattress and the patient so that the mite allergen particles cannot escape from the mattress. This can be done by encasing the mattress in a zippered, dust-proof encasing. There are two general types. One type is made of vinyl, but they are less comfortable. If the vinyl is of sufficient quality to be airtight, it will work in preventing the escape of dust mite allergen. The problem with this type of encasing is that it does not breathe. That is, it does not allow the passage of moisture away from the occupant of the bed, with the result that plastic covers may cause a sweaty and clammy feeling. In addition, they are often noisy and uncomfortable to sleep on. This problem can be lessened by using a mattress pad on top of the plastic. But in that case, one must be certain to wash the pad weekly in hot water in order to prevent dust mite growth in the pad itself. A better solution may be a cover designed specifically for allergy patients, which is made of a fabric on the outside and a urethane membrane on the inside. The membrane in these covers allows water vapor to pass, but prevents the dust mite allergens from escaping. These covers allow one to sleep comfortably and yet not be exposed to the allergen produced by the mites within the mattress. If there is a box spring, it should also be encased, but since one is not sleeping directly on the box spring, a vinyl encasing may be adequate. The pillow should also be encased with the same type of encasing used for the mattress. Here again, the fabric outside and the urethane membrane inside are more comfortable than plastic covers. They are quieter and will not feel clammy. You then cover the pillow with your pillowcase. One type of cover which should not be used is a terry cloth pillow cover. Terry cloth is deep enough to support the growth of dust mites. Encasings made for allergy patients are actually considered to be medical devices. They should have their effectiveness proven and should be registered as medical devices with the FDA. Finally, all fabrics above the encasing, namely the sheets, blankets, and pillowcases, should be washed in hot water every week or two. Hot water washing at 130 degrees Fahrenheit has been shown to kill dust mites in blankets. Cold water washing removes less of the mites and is therefore not recommended. Foam rubber and down pillows, down or feather comforters, and wool blankets are a favorite environment for dust mites and should be covered or avoided. It is true that dust mites in feather comforters can be killed by dry cleaning, but it is not practical to do this weekly, so it is better to encase the comforter in a dust-proof cover or replace it with a synthetic comforter made of polyester fiber-filled material which will tolerate repeated hot water washing. Hot water washing may also be used if desired as an alternative to encasing the pillow. Some pillows will deteriorate if washed repeatedly, But there is a new type of pillow which is made of a material specifically designed to withstand repeated hot water washing. Note that the designation non-allergenic or hypoallergenic on a pillow, blanket, or comforter only means that the fibers themselves do not cause allergy. Fibers of any type will still support dust mite growth and allow the accumulation of dust mite allergen unless they are encased or washed frequently in hot water.
It bears repeating that the single most important thing to do to decrease exposure to allergy-causing dust mites is to deal with the bed. The pillow, comforter, mattress, and box spring should be encased. All sheets, pillowcases, and blankets should be washed in hot water every week or two. The second point of attack in creating an indoor environment free from the effects of dust mite allergen is to deal with the bedroom carpet. After the bed, the carpet is usually the next most important site of dust mite allergen. By far the best approach, if it is at all possible, is to remove the carpet from the bedroom and have a wipeable hard floor, such as hardwood, tile, linoleum, or vinyl. Dust mites simply cannot live in significant numbers on such exposed hard surfaces, and these are the best type of bedroom floors for the dust mite sensitive patient. Even the world's best vacuum cleaner cannot remove live dust mites from their habitat deep in the base of the carpet. Remember that dust mites avoid light. The living mites are not present on the surface of the carpet, but live deep in its depths, where they are not affected by the suction of the vacuum. This is true even with short pile carpeting. Despite misleading claims to the contrary, there is no type of vacuum cleaner which is actually able to remove a significant number of living dust mites from carpets. As we will discuss later, there are differences between various vacuum cleaners in their ability to remove and contain surface dust, but no vacuum cleaner removes dust mites from the bottom layers of the carpet where they live. If at all possible, you should remove the bedroom carpet. A small cotton area rug is fine in order to have a warm place to stand after getting out of bed during cold weather, since this can be washed frequently in hot water to kill the mites and remove their allergen. It might seem that steam cleaning of wall-to-wall carpeting would be a good idea, but in fact, so-called steam cleaning uses not steam, but very hot water, and studies have shown that this does not kill the mites in the carpet. In addition, washing carpets can leave them damp, a situation which actually encourages mite growth. Dry powder carpet cleaners are a better choice. Mites can be killed by freezing, and placing an area rug outside in the cold makes sense. Despite the fact that removal of the bedroom carpet is the ideal situation, some families find this impossible to do. People living in rented apartments or in homes with only a plywood subfloor beneath the carpet may be unable to remove the carpet. Alternative approaches have therefore been investigated. Although there are many preparations available for cleaning carpet, only 2 are specifically designed to reduce dust mite allergen. One product, a kerosene, works to kill dust mites in carpets. It leads to a fall in allergen levels, but this may take time, and under humid conditions, the effects do not last more than 3 months. This mite-killing powder requires vigorous applications with a brush or a motorized applicator. When removing the powder from the carpet, use a vacuum with good quality bags or filters so that the fine powder does not blow out the exhaust. The other type of product, allergy control solution, does not kill dust mites, but rather works to inactivate the allergy-causing substances produced by the dust mites. It works rapidly and usually decreases the allergen to low levels. Because it does not kill the dust mites, the mites will eventually produce more allergen. So this product must also be reapplied approximately every 2 months. Both of these products are relatively new, but seem to be safe. New research on these products is being done, and you may want to speak to your allergist to obtain his or her opinion on their merits and limitations. One situation in which chemical treatment of the carpet is not acceptable is that of a carpet placed on a concrete slab in a basement. You know that dust mites thrive at high levels of humidity. A basement carpet is constantly humid from water vapor passing through the concrete foundation to the base of the carpet, as well as from humidity settling onto the carpet from above. Such carpets should be removed and the concrete covered with a vapor barrier and a washable flooring. Allergic individuals should not have their bedroom in a basement. Dealing with the bed and the bedroom carpet are the most important aspects of dust mite avoidance. If you feel that it's too much effort to take additional dust avoidance measures, then just take the steps which we have already discussed concerning the bedroom. Studies have shown a very significant decrease in the degree of asthma in dust mite allergic individuals whose bedrooms were modified in the way we have just discussed.
We've said that dust mites are important as a cause of allergic disease, both asthma, allergic rhinitis, and eczema. And we've shown that if you take people out of their houses and reduce exposure to dust mites, that they can get better. So the next question is, can this really be done in a patient's house? And there are many studies that have now shown that this can be done, but there are two in particular that have been very successful. The first one was by Murray and Ferguson in Vancouver, who showed that if you covered children's mattresses, washed their bedding, and removed the carpets from the bedroom, you could improve the asthma of the children significantly. The second study was done in Berlin by Juan and his colleagues, and they covered the mattress, the pillow, and the comforters, as well as replacing the carpets with polished wooden floors. And in that study, they not only achieved a 98% reduction in dust mite allergens, but produced quite significant improvements in the children's asthma and decrease in the irritability of their lungs. So that these two studies strongly suggest that if we do enough in the patient's houses, that in fact not only for children but also for adults, we can reduce dust mite allergens and can produce an important improvement in their asthma.
For most dust mite allergy sufferers, controlling the dust mite exposure from the bed and bedroom carpet is sufficient to produce marked improvement. Remember, cover the mattress and pillows with dust-proof encasings. Special breathable covers offer protection and comfort. Wash the sheets, pillowcases, blankets, and if present, the mattress pad in hot water every 1 or 2 weeks. If at all possible, remove wall-to-wall carpeting from the bedroom. If this is impossible, use carpet treatments to kill the mites or to inactivate their allergen. Vacuuming by itself is insufficient. To go further with dust mite control, remember the basic principle. If an object is wipeable or washable, it is okay. If not, there are probably dust mites in it. Chairs should therefore be made of wood, plastic, or other hard surfaces. Soft furniture covered with vinyl, leather, or which incorporates a special dust-proof barrier to prevent the escape of allergen, is fine. But cushions of fabric contain dust mites and should be avoided or removed. Dust mites can live in curtains, which should be replaced with shades or blinds or washed frequently in hot water. As mentioned previously, stuffed animals in a child's room also contain dust mites. Children are often emotionally attached to their cuddly animal toys. Try to limit the number of stuffed animals to 2 hot water washable toys. Other things to be avoided include canopy beds, stuffed headboards, soft sculpture wall hangings, and throw pillows. Bunk beds can be a problem, especially for the person on the bottom bunk. All mattresses in a room should be encased. With waterbeds, any padding above the plastic of the bed should be washed in hot water along with other bedding. Many newer waterbeds actually consist of mattress material surrounding water chambers, and such beds should be encased with dust-proof covers specifically designed for them. Since dust mites die at humidities below 50%, the use of an air conditioner or dehumidifier to lower humidity is helpful in decreasing the dust mite population. Air conditioning, if available, should be used liberally during the warm, humid months. A dehumidifier also removes humidity, but unlike an air conditioner, it adds a small amount of heat to the room. Dehumidifiers are therefore more appropriate for use during cooler but still humid conditions. If the dehumidifier is to be used in the bedroom, you might want to purchase a particularly quiet unit. Indoor humidity drops below 50% during the heating season, but many people use humidifiers to raise the humidity, unknowingly supporting dust mite growth. If you use a humidifier, obtain a gauge which measures relative humidity, and be sure that you do not raise the humidity above 40%. Hot air heating systems that blow air may circulate house dust allergen. Hot water baseboard systems are preferable. If you have forced hot air heating, you can obtain special filters for the central heating unit, or smaller filters for the vents into the patient's room. An alternative is to shut the vents to that room and use a freestanding electric heater. After the bedroom, the next most important room in terms of dust mite allergen exposure is the family or TV room. Consideration should also be given to removing the carpet from this room. If this is not possible, it may be chemically treated. In any case, allergic youngsters should not sit or lie directly on the carpet. A vinyl exercise mat may be useful in this regard. Once again, the allergic individual should avoid fabric cushioned sofas or easy chairs. Leather, vinyl, or seating with dust-proof barriers is preferred, and a vinyl-covered beanbag may be useful for a child. Doing housework can be a challenge for the allergic person, but if one has the knowledge to do it properly, it can be done without worsening allergy symptoms. The key fact here is that the dust mite allergen particles are not usually present in the air in large amounts, but they do get into the air in large amounts when the materials in which they are present are disturbed, such as when making a bed, fluffing a pillow, dusting or vacuuming, and sitting on a bed or sofa. Using a damp cloth or a cloth treated for improved dust-holding capability will minimize the amount of dust disturbed into the air, and the use of a face mask will minimize the amount of dust inhaled. The face mask should have a flexible seal around its edge, so that all of the inhaled air has passed through the filter of the mask, rather than around its edges. Dust masks are especially important if a major cleaning project is being undertaken. If the allergic patient is a child, it is best for the cleaning to be done in his or her absence. It takes about a half hour after the cleaning is completed for the dust particles to settle back down to the surface of the room. We've already discussed the fact that vacuum cleaners cannot remove meaningful numbers of live dust mites from carpets. They do remove some of the allergen which the dust mites have produced, but without the help of chemical treatment, they are unable to get the allergen level low enough to eliminate symptoms. Some vacuum cleaners can actually make the situation worse by blowing vacuumed dust out of their exhaust and into the air. Most leakage occurs through the vacuum bag itself, although in some cases the hosing and other connections of the machine are poor. Tests done at the University of Virginia using cat allergen as a marker showed that the amount of escaping dust allergen varies considerably among different brands of vacuum cleaners. Very little allergen leaked through the Miele, Nilfisk, and Kirby vacuum cleaners. In many cases, the leakage can be minimized by using filters or better quality vacuum bags. Among the worst vacuums tested were those that used water rather than a bag to catch the dust. Although air cleaners are commonly thought of as weapons in the fight against dust allergy, in fact their role is somewhat limited. Air cleaners can only remove what is in the air, and as we have already discussed, most exposure to dust mite allergen comes from sources such as beds, pillows, carpets, and soft furniture. Disturbance of these does create airborne dust, but this settles back down relatively quickly. Air cleaners are thus more helpful for other sources of allergens, such as cat allergy, where the allergy-causing particles are so tiny that they stay suspended in the air for a long time. Nevertheless, some people think that air cleaners may be of benefit in dust allergy, and it is not unreasonable to try one if the other more important measures have also been taken. The most effective air cleaners have what is called a HEPA filter and are of sufficient size to move large volumes of air. Air cleaners should not be placed on carpets where their exhaust airflow can disturb settled dust. Small tabletop models have not been shown to be effective. You now know a lot about dust mite allergen avoidance. All of the recommendations on this tape are based on medical facts, and the most important recommendations are those which we discussed at the beginning. Encase the pillow, mattress, and comforter with dust-proof covers. Wash the sheets and blankets in hot water weekly, and ideally remove or alternatively treat the bedroom carpet. These and other steps can be taken without disrupting the comfort and convenience of your home. Remember that some of the choices you make will determine the amount of ongoing effort required. If you choose to wash the pillow or comforter rather than encase them, to use a mattress pad with vinyl encasing rather than a breathable encasing, or to chemically treat the bedroom carpet rather than remove it, you must be willing and able to wash the pillow, comforter, and mattress pad in hot water every 1 or 2 weeks, and to treat the carpet every 2 or 3 months. On the other hand, if you choose to encase the pillow, mattress, and comforter in breathable, dust-proof covers and remove the carpet, then ongoing effort is not required. Allergy control really does begin at home. By taking these basic steps to modify your home environment, you will become an active partner with your doctor in helping to solve your or your child's allergy problem. The doctor can give you expert advice about the possible roles of medication and allergy injections in your case. But if you follow the advice given in this tape, you will help get the best results from your medical treatment. Environmental control is an important part of the overall treatment plan, which can lead to a happy, comfortable life for allergy patients.